as an Arsenal fan, I'm going to say Arsenal whack. Literally whack. They've been whacked for the last 5 seasons, and that's just basically keeping players that don't want to be kept, number one. Number two, Wenger, his time is up. He's overrated. Everybody says that he's doing his bit for the Arsenal team, but now his time is up. Let him go. If he needs to go upstairs, let him go upstairs.
I see Chris Rodriguez actually agrees with you in the Skype chat, and Andres has said no, Wenger going won't solve anything. Eamon, you've just had quite a strong opinion in the Skype chat. So do you want to have a retort to what Mr. Jamie JBK Kelly Bailey said?
Yeah, I think Wenger doesn't need to go. Like, there's not another man that I would personally want at Arsenal. Like, everything he's done for the club, and then look what he's done for the club, and then think about who else will come into his shoes and do exactly what he's done. Like, I think anyone can sign £50 million players and put them into a squad. Look at Mancini. But, firing him, it's just, you don't know what you've got till you've lost it, really. So having someone like Wenger sacked, if anything, it's just...
Alright, I've got one thing for that, and I found out yesterday that the guy has about 60 million in the bank. Okay, fair enough, he doesn't have to spend it, but who has ever said that football was a boys' game?
Gary Glitter did. Sorry, I couldn't help that.
Yeah, that's something that you raised a couple of weeks ago, a couple of Saturdays ago, didn't you? I know.
With a packet of sweets and a cheeky smile. Wenger definitely says it's a boys' game. No, I'm kidding. But it's what there was. We have a couple of other Arsenal fans on the line as well. Mr. Johnny Sykes, do you agree with Mr. Jamie JBK Kelly Bailey, or are you sitting on the side of Eamon?
No, I'm gonna go with probably the majority of the Arsenal fans and say that Wenger needs to stay for at least 2 more years until his contract's up. All right, no point in forcing him out of his contract now and paying him lots of money to leave when he's given the ability now by the board. I think it was approved, today or this week, that he's actually allowed to spend that $60 million. So I would rather him spend that $60 million than somebody who doesn't know the club as well come in and spend it. Also, losing key players in Fabregas, in Nasri, in Clichy last summer surprised Wenger. I don't think he saw it coming. And right now, he's trying to cover those losses. He's trying to bandage up deep gouges into the team when those players lost. So it's going to take a little time to reorganize. He kind of rushed those players in Mertesacker, in Santos, in Benayoun. So, let him figure it out over the summertime, and I think we'll see a much more confident Arsenal coming in next year. So I disagree.
All right. So are you basically saying that we need to leave Europe we need to do a Liverpool and not be in Europe altogether in order to be in a better position when he decides to leave?
We're in Europe right now next year, right?
Well,
so let's finish out the year.
I don't think we need to be there.
Let's try and finish out the year on a positive note. And I think that Arsenal will do much better next season when they spend the money in the right places. He didn't want to make another rush decision in the January window. And bring in players that won't work. But I think there needs to be a culling. I agree. I don't know if Giroud, if Arshavin, if Shamak, even Ramsey at this point, Walcott is good enough to play for that team. I don't know. There's a lot of money there. How about we flip it?
There's a lot of money to be put into the squad, but there's a lot of money that we can take out of it, and we can actually go and buy at least 2 players.
I agree.
If we want to lose Robert van Persie, then by all means do so by replacing him. If you're not going to
structure the team around him,
with
don't lose Van Persie. Don't put that message out there that we're going to lose Van Persie, because he's a diehard Arsenal since he was a young boy. So I don't think he's going to go anywhere. Van Persie, everyone's talking in the media about Van Persie leaving. If we can structure the team around him, give him something more than money can offer him, like Kobe and the Lakers, where they structure the team around him. They ask him who they think is right for the team. I think we stand a good chance of keeping Van Persie one of the best strikers in the world and structuring a good team around him.
Do you know what? Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Go on.
Do you know what? I hear that, but it's a very interesting point. And Andrea said he was at the game on Saturday and saying that Van Persie looked fed up. And also Matthew Graham-Whitfield has also said in the Skype chat that Fabregas was die-hard Arsenal but looked quite happy. Now the Van Persie thing, if someone came, let me ask the Arsenal fans this quickly, because we need to move on because time is pressing on, and we're going to go down to League One for a couple of talking points as well. But at the end of the day, if someone came in with say 40-50 million pounds in the summer for Van Persie, first,
would he turn it down?
Yeah, first, Jamie, I'd like to hear first, would you take it? Jonathan, then I'd like to hear whether you would take it. G-Man, I'd also like to hear whether you would take it. And Eamon, I'd like to hear whether you take it as well.
All right, being a football coach, I would say to Robin, there's money that's been offered on the table. Is it worth it? Do you want to leave? How do you feel at the club? If he says, we've not won anything in so many years and I feel like I need to do it somewhere else, I would say to him, then the door is open for you to go. I'm not going to keep somebody who doesn't want to stay. But if he says, I would like to find out if I can win things, then straight as hell, I'm going to say to the other club, he's already told me he's staying. If they keep doing if it's somebody like Barcelona and they keep pressing the same question when they have been given the same answer for so long, then eventually he's either going to say yes, or Barcelona are just going to say, screw it, I'll just drop my price down a bit and we'll see what we can do then.
Yeah.
But as far as I'm concerned, if Van Persie says that he wants to go, he looks disinterested on the pitch, he's going to step. He knows it as well.
No,
any player, any coach will see that if a player is not happy, he's going to leave. It's as simple as that.
No, I hear that.
So, if they're going to if he's going to say to Wenger, I want to stay, I want to see what happens, then Wenger's got a choice. Do I want 40 million or do I want Van Persie?
All right,
if
Eamon.
he says that he wants... Go on.
Sorry, just because we're pushing on time a bit. Eamon, what do you reckon? Then we're gonna go to Mr. Johnny Sykes and then Mr. Sam Collins, of course.
I wouldn't sell him. Just 50 million is a lot of money, but who says Arsenal don't have money? And even when we do have money, we don't spend it anyway. So why lose like a fan favourite player? It's obviously going to annoy the fans. And he's an important player. He's one of the best strikers in the world. So why can't we build a team around him with what we have, instead of selling him and starting all over again with no key players?
Mr. Johnny Sykes, would you reckon? Would you take 50 million pounds for Van Persie in the summer?
I would pass. I would pass so hard on that deal. I wouldn't sell him for 70 million, to be honest. I would sit him in a room. I would put a contract in front of him that he could not pass up. And then I would make another $40 million off of the team that I've got right now, and bring him some players around him. Yeah. And then I'd put a bronze statue out front of the club for him.
You almost sound like a mafia boss. I'll make him an offer he can't refuse. Mr. Sam Collins, what do you reckon? Would you take 50 million for Van Persie in the summer?
Well, first of all, I don't think that the offer would be that high. But if you're saying that. Yes, I would. That's because this is a player that's been injured for 6 out of the last of his 8 seasons at Arsenal, which people seem to have forgot all of a sudden. Yeah. And this is a guy that's going to be 30 soon. So I don't think you should think that he's going to be like this forever. But the main thing is getting in the quality to make him want to stay. And Cesc Fabregas left Arsenal because he had the meeting with Arsene Wenger, and Arsene Wenger showed him the shortlist of the players that he was going to attract, and one of the names on it was Mark Schwarzer. There you go.
G-Man, as the last man on this point, because we need to shift on. Would you reckon? Would you take 50 million for Van Persie in the summer?
I've got to say I would, but because I agree with Jamie in a certain sense that there needs to be a new philosophy at Arsenal. Arsene Wenger needs to change his philosophy. He needs to, especially with keep holding on to players. That's a very good point that Jamie made. Holding on to players that don't want to be there because it's creating a negative mentality around the club. Personally, that's what I feel. And if we were offered 50 million for Van Persie, it's a done deal. Why would you not sell him for 50 million? To me, it just makes common sense.